Yo, what's up? It's MKXYZ, and I'm here with Raymond T checking in with the quarantine check-in. Shout out Live by Live. You already know what it is.
All right, well, Miss MKXYZ. Tapping it with me, man. Your man Raymond T here, quarantine checking. Thank you for taking some time. I know you are traveling, getting with family and everything like that. So appreciate you rocking with me, you know what I'm saying? So we can tap it and get to passing it together. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
How's things
Hey.
for you in this quarantine? You know what I mean? Have you been shackled up for the most part in Atlanta?
Yeah, so most of my time has been in Atlanta. I've probably been in Charlotte one time, and it was like for a day. But man, it's just that's what I'm doing right now. I'm checking on my family. I'm checking on friends. I'm checking in on everybody and how they've been coping as well. But for me, it's just been a lot of like just allowing myself to really sit with it. Like have moments where I tap in and I'm fully present, and then have moments for myself to digest and really just like how do I move forward? How do I cope? How do I, without compromising the fact that I still need to be an activist, I still need to be active. Like it's just a lot of balance and rediscovering myself in ways that I didn't know. Like we're all in a way learning how to survive a new life, in this time. And even with the social issues that are going on, it's just been a lot of how do I make the most of it? How do I really address my emotions and mental health? How do I do the same for others? How do I check in on my fan base? And just stay consistent and be there for everybody. So that's really what it's been. And then, in my free time, writing music, touring has been a thing for me. And then painting has been a new hobby. I love painting.
Nice. Well, it's
Yes.
crazy because you mentioned all those other things, and then on top of that, trying to just stay on your craft.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
I mean, I think about even the idea with the big song "Pass It." Shoot, you guys did that video amidst this pandemic, right?
Yes, and it was an interesting because it was my first big music video. It was interesting to me because, like my first one, and everybody's wearing masks, and there's this very small set. But in my mind, it felt a lot bigger than what everybody was saying. That usually it's like 100, 150 plus people that is on a video shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it seemed like a lot of people. It felt like 100 people, but they were like, it's really small scale, and we had to switch choreography. We had to do the best that we can from our locations. Some people weren't able to travel. Some people couldn't get certain things, like things that we needed. So we had to really find ways to get creative with the timing. What can we do as far as being able to touch people and interact with people, and how is that going to work? So it was weird at first because my dancers, there's moments where they were like out of breath, like they couldn't, like they had to like literally walk out and take the mask off. And I was just like, yo, stop. I have this natural desire to comfort. And I'm like, you good? You good? Okay, let's shoot. Cause I can't, like, it's weighs on me. So, but it was fun though, because I still got to make the most out of my first shoot. I was in love with how everything came out. But I wonder what it's going to be like, my second big video, not being in this space and having the time to do that.
I was tripping because I was reading up on just the video and everything like that, and one, I want to dive into your name, but you have been very open about your sexuality. You've been
Absolutely.
very open just about everything. And I want to say in somewhat of a bit short in a short span of time, in kind of like your introduction to the public.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I was reading you came out at just like the young age of 14, right?
Yes. Early, very early.
How was family with that at that time?
So at the time, like I said, born and raised in the South, going to the West Coast was a different vibe, and it was more accepting feeling. But
For
down
sure, right?
here, you come into a lot of racial prejudice, discrimination amongst all
Already,
types
right?
of groups,
Already.
right?
Yeah,
Already.
yeah, yeah.
So
Without
it's
even
like
throwing
me already
the queer
being
aspect in it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So me already being, biracial, and people already trying to, because there is no Asian black mixes down here like that. Not like the Bay and not like the West Coast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But down here, it's like I was the one. And then it was like people were always trying to figure out, well, how do I like which side do you identify with more? And, well, what are, like, it was always a question of what are you, where are you, like, what's going on? And I'm different from the rest. And I always felt that way. But like coming out, at first it was tough because I was figuring it out. I was going through, okay, is this the case? Is it not the case? Or is it like, what are the things that you take into consideration? Because I had nobody to go off of. I was the only one. So it's
Yeah.
not like, it wasn't like I seen a whole bunch of people and I was like, oh, I think I am. It wasn't, no, none of that. It was like, I feel this way and I'm kind of nervous because I don't know how to make sense of it. So then whenever I finally started to really, be empowered and figure out, wait, this is who I am and I can be confident in it, and I don't really have to have anybody else's approval. It became a lot of the I'd say, if anything, the reason why I'm so like upfront about it is because that was the thing that really took me through womanhood and made me feel like empowered to be who I am today, which is because it's funny you mentioned my name, which is a lot of what my name represents, like just being queer, being a woman of color, not wanting to box myself in. So that's what the XYZ is, because a
Yeah.
lot of times people will be like, oh, but you're gorgeous, you wear makeup, or you're masculine, and like, how do we, people like always want to fight to fit it into something so that they can understand what they see or what they're hearing or what they
That
feel.
was the awesome breakdown right there.
You know
That
what
is
I'm
an
saying?
awesome breakdown right there. You know what
And
I'm
I
saying?
just be
And
like, no, it's just the XYZ, and that's what
yeah.
it. A lot of my journey coming out really spearheaded what it is I am. Like, what am I today? Definitely.
I read you said daddy vibes with a pretty face.
Because
Yeah.
you gotta bring that, you gotta have that energy. I feel like in 2020 there's definitely there's a lot of fans that'll be like, I love that because I feel it, I get it now. And I'm like, yeah, it's just a vibe, it's an energy. You know what I mean? And it's always fluid too. Like, it can be as fluid as you want it to be. You don't have to like be so, like, for me, I believe in evolution of self. You know what I mean? I feel like you're always constantly evolving. You always want to essentially bow down to your highest self. You know what I mean? You always want to strive to be the best person that you could be. And I feel like for me, it's just been a lot of that, going through the XYZ, going through the XYZ to get to, you know what? I don't have to have a solid answer. It is what it is. You feel me? And that's what it is.
Man, can you be my therapist straight up? I'm serious, man. Good
Okay.
Lord, you are wise beyond your years.
Yes,
I was
definitely.
just extremely impressed with one, just your how you carry yourself,
Thank
two,
you.
your confidence. I think it's your confidence in everything that you got
Mm,
going on. Because at such a young age to speak so profoundly about your being, aside from being an artist, I
mm.
think is why all this is inevitable for you, because I always say authenticity and genuineness wins. You know what I mean? You
It
could tell the real from
does.
the fake, and and you
It
talking so
does.
much about living your truth and all that, like you're not shying behind anything. You're gonna do you, whether in the music, in the videos, in your YouTube video, like everybody's gonna get you, and I commend you 150,000% for that, because I aside from being an artist, there are so many people lost and even just trying to figure out who they are. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
definitely. And
much,
I don't want
much,
to come
much,
into it
much,
like
much,
that.
much respect right there. No doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really
So
appreciate it.
I want